Greetings, everybody, and welcome back to Wildlife Wisdom. So far, I've been your host, Zerietti, and happy Dinosaur Day. And this Dinosaur Day, we're taking a look at the Yixian Formation of China, starting with Dongbei Titan. It is a genus of sauropod dinosaur that lives throughout what is today China during the early Cretaceous period, some 125 to 121 million years ago. Fossils belonging to a then unknown sauropod dinosaur were found in northeastern China, in the western Liaoning province, in the region of Baipao. The bones lay in a valley between the Liaoning and valleys, about 5 kilometers northwest of the Shi Tun Fossil Museum in Baipao. This valley, covered by rocks belonging to the Jehol group, formed in the early Cretaceous and proved to be such a rich fossil site containing the well-preserved specimens of over 20 species of dinosaur that the sauropod fossils were largely overlooked and left forgotten in storage for over a decade. This was until 2006 when the fossils were gained by the Natural History Museum in Dalian with the help of the Lufeng Dinosaur Research Center in Yunnan Province, and were studied and prepared. Uh, we studied and prepared the sauropod specimen. They labeled DNHM D2867. This holotype specimen consists of a partial postcranial skeleton, including the bones from the limbs, shoulder, pelvic girdles, and vertebrae, and was formally described and named as Dongbei Titan dongai. The genus name refers to the region Dongbei and the Greek titan or giant. The specific name honors the Chinese paleontologist Don Xingmi, and estimated to have reached around 60 feet or 18 meters in length and 15 feet or 4.6 meters tall at the shoulder and 40,000 pounds or 18,145 kilograms in weight. Dongbei Titan was amongst the largest animals of the Yixian Formation, where it lived alongside several other notable sauropods, such as Runixian, Euhelopus, and Liaoning-O-Titan. Next up is May. It is a genus of troodontid theropod dinosaur which lived throughout what is now China during the early Cretaceous period, some 126 to 124 million years ago. The type specimen is of a baby, which was complete and exceptionally well preserved in three-dimensional detail, with the snout nestled beneath one of the forelimbs and the legs neatly folded beneath the body, similar to the roosting position of modern birds. It was unearthed in 2004 by paleontologists working in the Yixian Formation, before being described later that same year by Zhu Jing and Mark Allen Norwell, who named the animal Mei Long, which means sleeping dragon. Later, a second specimen, which also consisted of a very well-preserved skeleton in a sleeping posture, was recovered, and although it exhibited several juvenile-like features, it is believed to have been a small yet fully mature individual. It is thought that both Mei Long specimens died as a result of carbon monoxide poisoning. Mei Long measured around 2 feet or 60 centimeters long as an adult, about the size of a modern domestic duck. Mei is a troodontid, a group of small, bird-like gracile maniraptorans. All troodontids have many unique features of the skull, including large numbers of closely spaced teeth. Troodontids have sickle-like claws and raptorial hands, and some of the highest non-avian encephalization quotients, meaning that they were behaviorally advanced and had keen senses. In life, Mei Long was an agile animal and a faster runner, which would have fed upon insects, amphibians, and small reptiles along the forest floor. It probably climbed trees as well to shelter from larger predators. Next up, we have Eosipterus, an extinct genus of centenochasmatid pterosaur, which lived throughout West China during the Aptian stage of the early Cretaceous period, some 127 to 124 million years ago. The first fossil of Eosipterus consists of a partial crushed skeleton of a subadult individual preserved in a slab that was found in 1997 near Jinggangshan in western Liaoning province in the Yixian Formation. Later that year, it was described by paleontologists Ji Xuan and Ji Huang, uh, who named the animal Eosipterus yangai. The genus name is derived from the Greek eos, meaning dawn, and Greek pteron, meaning wing, with a Latin ending and a grammatical error, whereas normally the combination would have resulted in Eopterus. The dawn element refers to its age, but also to China being in the east. The civic name honors their teacher, paleontologist Yang Dai-Han. A second specimen was described by Lu Zhusheng and colleagues in 2006. Both skeletons were articulated, but incompletely preserved, missing the skulls and many details of the vertebrae and limb bones. In life, Eosipterus is estimated to have reached around roughly 2 feet or 0.61 meters in length and spore a wingspan of around 4 feet or 1.2 meters. However, as both known specimens are subadults, it is possible these pterosaurs got a fair bit larger. Eosipterus lived in a lush temperate forest area along the edges of rivers and other waterways. Like other centochasmatids, Eosipterus were likely suspension feeders, using dozens of narrow outwardly pointing teeth to strain small animals from mud and water. Next up, we have Psittacosaurus, a genus of ceratopsian dinosaur which lived throughout what is now Asia during the early Cretaceous period, some 125 to 105 million years ago. The first known remains of Psittacosaurus, consisting of a well-preserved, near-complete skeleton, was found in the Oshvi locality of the Ukhetek Formation in Mongolia during the Third Asiatic Expedition of the American Museum of Natural History. The specimen was described and named by Henry Fairfield Osborn in 1924 as Psittacosaurus mongoliensis. In the same paper, Osborn also described another new taxon, which he considered similar to Psittacosaurus, Proteiguanodon mongolensis, which was found in the same expedition, but from the Ondai Sar Formation. The holotype of Proteiguanodon included a nearly complete skeleton found articulated and partial remains of the skull. Since then, several hundred remains, including dozens of near-complete skeletons and even several mummies, have been recovered from throughout Mongolia, China, Russia, and Thailand, representing nearly all life stages from hatchlings to elders, making Stegosaurus one of the best-studied non-avian dinosaurs. Today, at least 9 species are considered valid: P. mongoliensis, P. sinensis, P. xinjiangensis, P. melillensis, P. sibiricus, P. lugangtunensis, P. major, P. royale, P. gobenensis, and P. amitabha. Sorry for butchering some of those. The several species of Stegosaurus vary in size and specific features of the skull and skeleton, but share the same overall body plan. They range from the smallest species, P. ordocensis, at around 4.55 feet or 1.37 meters in length and 30.8 pounds or 14 kilograms in weight, to the largest, P. lugentuensis and P. sibiricus, reach around 7 feet or 2.13 meters in length and 50 pounds or 22.7 kilograms in weight. Stegosaurus was a bipedal animal which sported robust hind limbs, small front legs, and a sturdy tail. The tail was round. The tall and rounded skull, was equipped with a strong curved parrot-like beak, hence the name Stegosaurus, meaning parrot lizard. Although Psittacosaurus was a ceratopsian dinosaur, it lacked the elaborate horns and neck frills that are commonly seen in the larger, later relatives. Some specimens are also noted for having bony lumps growing from the skulls, which may have been analogous to the horns of the later relatives. While most of the body of Stegosaurus is covered in scales, at least one species possessed a row of quill-like feathers that ran down from the pelvis to the tail. In life, Stegosaurus would have lived in small herds and fed upon various kinds of tough plants. Next up, we have Eutyrannus, a genus of Proceratosaurid tyrannosauroid dinosaur, which lived throughout West-Day China during the Permian age of the early Cretaceous period, some 125 to 121 million years ago. Eutyrannus is known from three nearly complete fossil specimens, an adult, a subadult, and a juvenile, acquired from a fossil dealer who claimed all three had their provenance in a single quarry in the Batu Yingji in Liaoning province, China, and thus from a layer of the Yixian formation. The specimens have been cut into pieces about the size of bath mats, which can be carried by two people. The fossils are part of the collections in the Zhucheng Dinosaur Museum and the Erlangen-Hayote Dinosaur Museum, but have been prepared by the Institute of Vertebrate Paleontology and Paleoanthropology under the guidance of Zhu. The three skeletons were named and scientifically described in 2012 by Zhu Jing et al., who dubbed the animal Eutyrannus howli. The name is derived from the Mandarin Chinese "yu", meaning feather, and Latinized Greek "tyrannus", meaning tyrant, in reference to his classification as a feathered member of the Tyrannosauridae. The specific name consists of the Mandarin "halai", meaning beautiful, in reference to the perceived beauty of the plumage. Reach around 24.6 feet or 7.5 meters in length and 2,425 pounds or 1,100 kilograms in weight. Eutyrannus was a large bipedal predator. The snout features a high men-like crest formed by the nasals and premaxilla, which is covered by large pneumatic recesses. The described specimens of Eutyrannus contain direct evidence of feathers in the form of fossil imprints. The feathers were long up to 20 centimeters or 7.9 inches and filamentous. Because the quality of the preservation was low, it could not be established whether the filaments were simple or compound or broad or narrow. Based on distinguishing distribution of the feathers, they may have covered the whole body and served to regulate temperature, giving the rather cold climate given the rather cold climate of the Yixian. Apologies. With an average annual temperature of around 10 degrees Celsius or 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Next up is Rapinomamus, a genus of opossum to badger size, gabi-conodontid mammal. containing two species, Repenomavis robustus and Repenomavis giganticus. Both species lived throughout what is now China during the early Cretaceous period, around 125 to 123.2 million years ago. The first remains of Repenomavis, consisting of a partial skeleton and some isolated bones, were unearthed from the Yixian Formation Lagerstätte in the Liaoning province of China in 2000. These remains were described and named by Jingling Li, Yan Wang, Yu Wang, and Qiao Li in 2001, who dubbed the animal as Repenomamus robustus, with the genus name meaning reptile mammal. The second and larger species, Repenomavis giganticus, was named in 2005. Repenomavis is a genus of Eutriconodonts, a group of early mammals with no modern relatives. Individuals of known specimens of Repenomavis are some of the largest known Mesozoic mammals, representing by reasonably complete fossils, with the adults of R. robustus reaching around 1.33 feet or 41.2 centimeters long and 8.8 to 13 pounds or 4 to 6 kilograms in weight, or roughly the size of a modern opossum. R. giganticus reached around 3.3 feet or 1 meter in length and 26 to 31 pounds or 12 to 14 kilograms in weight. Features of its shoulder and leg bones indicate a sprawling posture, as in most of small to medium-sized living therian mammals, with plantigrade feet. Unlike therian mammals, Repenomavis had a proportionally longer body with shorter limbs. Features of the teeth and jaws suggest that Repenomavis were carnivorous, with a specimen of R. robustus being discovered with the fragmentary skeleton of a juvenile Psittacosaurus preserved in its stomach. Represents the second direct evidence that at least some Mesozoic mammals were carnivorous and fed upon other vertebrates, including dinosaurs. This is doubly confirmed when the specimen R. robustus was uncovered alongside an adult Psittacosaurus. The intertwined nature of the fossil is similar to the fighting dinosaurs fossil of Mongolia. Excuse me. It was likely a byproduct of an altercation between the two animals, in which the mammal was attempting to prey upon the Psittacosaurus. And last but not least, our final animal of the week will be how long. It is a genus of iguanodontian ornithopod dinosaur which lived throughout what is now China during the early Cretaceous period, some 125 to 121 million years ago. The type, and so far currently only known specimen, is the holotype AGM 16793 and consists of a nearly complete juvenile specimen which was recovered from the Yixian Formation in 2025. This specimen was prepared and studied by a team of scientists led by Zhang Dong Hong and included Wenhao Wu, Li Mao, Filippo Bertozzo, Danielle Dohal, Ninon Robin, Michael Pittman, Thomas G. Kane, Fabio Manucci, Zhu Zhihe, Zuri Wang, and Pascal Goldefroot. The group named the animal as Halongdonga in 2026, with the generic name coming from the Mandarin Chinese, and translates to spiny dragon, in reference to its integumentary structures. The specific name Donga refers to Dong Jingming, a prominent Chinese paleontologist. The holotype specimen measures 8 feet or 2.4 meters in length and is notable for not only its articulated skeleton, but partial mummification, including the exquisite preservation of its integument. Said integument includes overlapping scales on the tail and distinct tuberculate scales on the neck and thorax. Excuse me. Most striking, however, are the hollow keratinous cutaneous spines scattered among the scales. These spines differ from the protofeathers of non-avian theropods and the spines of extant squamates, and are most comparable structurally to that of modern porcupine quills. They may have served as pressure from predators, as thermal regulatory aids, or as tactile structures. As always, take care to my guys, gals, non-binary pals. Hope you all have a wonderful dinosaur day.